Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not just a video. This is a divine interruption. Heaven has been watching, and now God is speaking. There is a shift happening right now, and if you are hearing this, it means you are not just part of the crowd. You are part of the remnant. You are the one who was hidden, the one who walked through fires in silence, the one nobody clapped for, prayed for, or stood beside. But now, heaven is clearing its throat and calling your name aloud. God says, I'm taking you from the background to the forefront. This word is for the ones who felt forgotten while remaining faithful, for the ones who stayed quiet while others were loud, for the ones who endured spiritual battles behind closed doors with no applause, no platform, and no pity. You have been walking in the shadows, and yet your light never went out. You've been overlooked by men, but never by God. Chosen one, this is divine timing. You are not watching this by accident. Something is stirring in the spirit, and the atmosphere around your life is shifting, even as these words leave my mouth. God has seen the tears, the quiet sacrifices, the moments you almost gave up, but He kept you. He kept you because your moment wasn't delayed, it was being prepared. Now, heaven has made a decision, and that decision is you. The Lord says, I am bringing you out from behind the curtain. I am placing you before kings, before nations, before the very people who said you would never rise. You are not being invited, you are being summoned, not by man, but by the Creator of all things. You have been in the background because God was working on the foundation. But now He is calling you forward to be seen, to be heard, and to be used. And you must not miss this moment. You cannot afford to scroll past what heaven is announcing over your life. This is not entertainment. This is your prophetic activation. If you miss this word, you risk delaying a breakthrough that was already written in your name. There is an urgency in the spirit realm. God is moving quickly. He's overturning tables. He's shifting power. He's raising up voices who have been silenced for far too long. And you, chosen one, are one of those voices. So before we go any further, I want you to activate this word right now. Like this video, not for vanity, but for visibility in the spirit realm. Subscribe, because heaven is unfolding a sequence of confirmations in your life. And most importantly, comment below, I'm ready for the forefront. Say it boldly. Say it in faith. Say it as a witness. Why? Because when you speak those words, you are coming into agreement with what heaven has already decreed. You are breaking the silence of your hidden season. You are announcing your readiness not just to people, but to powers and principalities that thought you'd stay stuck forever. I'm ready for the forefront isn't just a sentence. It's a spiritual signature. It's a declaration that your days in the background are over. It's your yes to God's timing. It's your surrender to divine promotion. It's your signal to the kingdom of heaven that you are in position. Type it now, speak it aloud. I'm ready for the forefront. Because once you say it, you activate it. You were not meant to stay in the corner. You were not born to be silent. The mantle you carry is too powerful to remain covered. And God has decided, yes, decided, that now is the time for your revealing. You didn't choose this moment. This moment chose you. You've declared it. You've spoken it into the atmosphere. You've come into alignment with the heavens. And now, chosen one, the unveiling begins. God has had His hand over your life, not to hold you back, but to hold you together. The world didn't see it, but the silence was sacred. The background wasn't punishment, it was preservation. Because you, chosen one, have been hidden for a holy reason. God doesn't waste his anointing, and he doesn't rush revelation. Like a pearl in the shell or fine wine in the dark, some of the most precious things require time in secret. You weren't buried, you were planted. You weren't forgotten, you were being formed. Your hiding place was the Holy of Holies, where God does his most intimate work. And even when people misunderstood your stillness, God was scripting your strategy. Remember Moses, the deliverer of a nation, yet hidden away in the desert for 40 years, not because he failed, but because his mission was too sacred to release prematurely. He had to be stripped of the palace mindset. He had to unlearn the ways of Egypt so he could carry the fire of heaven. That burning bush moment didn't happen in a crowd. It happened in a solitary place, alone, unseen, unknown to men, but fully known by God. So if you've been feeling like life passed you by, like your voice was silenced, like your purpose was paused, know this: you were hidden on purpose. You were kept in the shadows while others chased the spotlight, but you were being refined for something weightier, holier, higher. God couldn't allow your gift to be mishandled, your voice to be diluted, or your oil to be wasted on stages not worthy of your presence. You are chosen. That means your steps have never been random, and every season of silence was a setup, a divine appointment in disguise. Don't despise the desert. That's where the manna falls. That's where the fire by night and the cloud by day train your trust. That's where humility becomes your armor and obedience becomes your weapon. And when the time is right, when heaven has finished shaping your heart, God says, "Now watch what I will do with the one they never saw coming." The hiding is ending. The revealing is beginning. And as we move forward, understand this: when God brings you forward, he expects you to carry what he deposited in secret. Because when the spotlight finds you, you must be found faithful. Now that God is lifting the curtain, the question is, what will the light reveal? The spotlight doesn't just illuminate, it exposes, it magnifies, and it tests the integrity of what's been hidden. You've been praying for visibility, but understand, visibility is vulnerability, and God only trusts the weight of exposure to those who have been forged in obedience. David was anointed in private. A prophet poured the oil, but it would take years of rejection, warfare, and wilderness before he would sit on the throne. The anointing marked him, but the process made him. And when the spotlight finally came, David wasn't just ready, he was radiant. Chosen one, this is why your process was so intense. This is why the testing was so personal. Because when your moment of divine visibility arrives, God doesn't want you shaken by the attention. He wants you anchored in your assignment. The spotlight will bring admiration, but also attack, celebration, but also scrutiny. And if your heart isn't postured in surrender, the very thing you prayed for could become a platform for pride. But not you. You've been trained in tears. You've worshipped through warfare. You've praised through pain. You've laid prostrate when no one was watching. That's why when God says step forward, you won't shrink in fear. You'll rise in truth. You are faithful, and you're not new to the altar. So now, as God places you before people, he can trust you to represent him well. You won't perform. You'll prophesy. You won't fake it. You'll walk in fire, because your light wasn't manufactured. It was lit in the secret place by the flame of intimacy with God. You are chosen. That means your light is not ordinary, it's divine, and the world is not ready for what heaven is about to unleash through you. And now, chosen one, let's talk about something deep, something sacred, something that needs to be spoken plainly and prophetically. You were the last pick, but heaven's first choice. People passed you over. Family didn't recognize the calling. Friends doubted your dreams. Leaders overlooked your potential. But God didn't choose you based on polls. He chose you based on purpose. Let that settle in your spirit. You weren't the most qualified. You weren't the loudest. You weren't the one everyone bet on. In fact, they bet against you. They watched you struggle and assumed it was weakness. They mistook your humility for lack, your silence for insignificance. But they didn't know who had their hand on your life. They didn't see the vision, but God did. They didn't hear the late-night cries, but heaven did. They didn't see the fire in your belly, the depth of your compassion, the relentless prayers when no one else would intercede. But the Spirit of the living God hovered over you, whispering, "That one is mine." The world looks at the outside, but God saw your heart. And while people were chasing popularity, you were cultivating purity. While they pursued platforms, you were pursuing presence. And heaven keeps score differently. Remember David again? Not even invited to the lineup. 7 sons passed before Samuel, and not one received the oil. Because the oil only flows for the one God has chosen. You've been in rooms where you were underestimated. You've been in relationships where you were underappreciated. You've been in jobs, churches, communities where you were unseen. But heaven saw, heaven heard, heaven remembered. God didn't forget you when the promotions passed you by. He didn't forget you when they favored the wrong ones. He didn't forget you when the doors stayed shut. He was preparing a table. He was setting the scene. He was reserving the honor. Because when it's your time, chosen one, nothing and no one can stop it. This is not about proving people wrong. It's about proving God right. It's about the fulfillment of prophecy, the manifestation of long-buried dreams, the release of divine justice. It's about the ones who were mocked being crowned, the ones who were invisible being lifted, the ones who were passed over being called out. You weren't last. You were just saved for later. You are the first choice in the eyes of the one who matters most. And the time has come for that choice to be made public. You've been declared ready in heaven. Now earth is about to catch up. This is your shift. This is your release. And this is just the beginning. Chosen one, listen closely, because this next truth will shake your spirit free from every lingering doubt. The oil was always yours. Yes, others tried to carry what only heaven had marked for you. Yes, you watched others wear what looked like your crown, walk through doors meant for you, speak words you birthed in prayer. You kept wondering, did I miss my turn? But God says to you now, you didn't miss it. They were never carrying your oil. The oil only flows where it is assigned. David's brothers stood tall, looked the part, had the titles, the favor, the strength, but the oil didn't flow. Samuel held the horn over each one, and nothing moved. Because God will not let another receive what has your name etched on it in eternity. Your oil, chosen one, responds only to your presence. Let that sink in. Let it break every lie that told you someone else took your place. Let it silence every voice that told you you weren't good enough, fast enough, strong enough. Because when God seals something for you, it will not release to anyone else. He doesn't operate in confusion. He doesn't double book purpose. He's not scrambling to find your replacement. You are the one. That delay wasn't denial. It was protection. Because if the oil had been poured prematurely, you might have been celebrated by man, but crushed by the weight of timing. God loved you too much to let that happen. So he waited. He preserved the anointing. And now, in this moment, he's declaring, the oil is flowing. The assignment is active. The mantle is yours. What belongs to you is coming into view. Not by manipulation, not by compromise, not by begging, but by divine release. Because you, chosen one, were never made to compete. You were made to carry. You were never meant to copy. You were meant to be crowned. And now heaven is placing that oil on your head, not in secret this time, but in full view of those who thought you'd remain buried. You are anointed. It is irrevocable, and the oil is flowing freely, just as it was always meant to. And now, chosen one, let's go deeper, because where you're headed is not a gentle step forward. It's a radical emergence. You are about to go from wilderness to witness. Your dry season was not the end. It was the crucible, the place where God stripped the noise so you could hear his voice like thunder. He didn't abandon you there. He met you there, just like he met Jesus in the wilderness after his baptism, right before his earthly ministry began. That wilderness wasn't weakness. It was preparation. Every temptation resisted, there was a weapon forged for the next battle. Every moment of hunger became fuel for the miracle of multiplication. You too have endured isolation. You've walked through spiritual deserts. You've been hungry for affirmation, thirsty for clarity, desperate for breakthrough. And through it all, God was whispering truths you didn't even realize you were absorbing. That wilderness taught you not just how to pray, but how to war. It taught you how to praise when your lips were trembling. It taught you how to trust when the road was dry and the heavens felt silent. And now, chosen one, the wilderness is becoming your witness. You are not stepping out the same way you went in. You are stepping out with revelation, with power, with depth. The wilderness stripped you of every mask, every false voice, every earthly crutch. And what's left is the real you, the one God is bringing forward for such a time as this. People saw you disappear and assumed defeat, but they are about to witness your re-entry, and it will not be quiet. Your wilderness testimony is being turned into a public miracle. The very ground that broke you is about to bless you. The pain that pressed you is about to promote you. The silence that hid you is about to amplify you. Your testimony is undeniable. Your mantle is visible. And your witness is unstoppable. Because God didn't just refine you, He rebuilt you. You are stronger now, sharper, clearer. Carriers of truth don't come from comfort, they come from the wilderness. And now you are walking evidence that God still turns dry places into holy ground. And just when the world thinks they've seen all you can offer, God says, release the name. Heaven is releasing your name. Chosen one, you don't even know the conversations being held behind closed doors about you. You don't even realize how your name is echoing through rooms you've never entered, being written on the hearts of people you've never met. Because when God decides to bring you to the forefront, He does it with divine orchestration. Just like Joseph, forgotten in prison, until one dream changed the trajectory of a nation, one whisper from the cupbearer "There is a man." And Pharaoh summoned him, and in a single day, Joseph went from prisoner to ruler. That's what happens when heaven releases your name. You don't have to knock down doors. You don't have to scheme or strive. God sends your name like a divine wind through places of influence. He places your name on the tongues of gatekeepers and intercessors, decision makers and destiny connections. You don't force your way in. You are called in. Because when God is ready, He makes people remember what they tried to forget. He reminds them who you are, who you were, who you were becoming all along. He stirs dreams, unearths records, reopens files. He moves in hearts with divine precision. And when your name is released, no one can silence it. Your promotion is not random. It is heaven's announcement. And now, chosen one, the same mouths that doubted you will have to declare your favor. The same eyes that overlooked you will have to witness your rising. The same rooms that excluded you will be rearranged to make space for your presence. Because God is not just lifting your name, He is exalting His glory through your life. It is certain. It is happening. It is heaven sent. Your name is released. Your season is active. Your platform is prepared. You are meant for this. You were made for this. Your blessing is here. Overflow, overflow, overflow. The rivers are opening. The spotlight is shifting. The curtains are parting. And your name is being called. Chosen one. We are just moments away from the divine conclusion of what God began before time itself. Get ready, because what comes next is not a whisper. It's a trumpet. Chosen one. The oil has flowed. The wilderness has ended. Your name has been released. But there is more. You've heard the trumpet in the spirit, and now the crown is coming into view. The crown was custom made for you, not one size fits all, not borrowed from another, not repurposed from someone else's story. No, this crown has been measured to your pain, your process, your praise. It fits your head because it was forged through your fire. Every tear you cried, woven into the thread of royalty, every rejection, etched into the gold like the markings of a warrior. Every silent night, you wondered, God, when will it be my turn? He was engraving your name on heaven's crown registry. This isn't a trophy for appearance. This is a symbol of overcoming. You didn't win this crown by striving. You didn't fake your way into it. You didn't manipulate, chase, or compromise. You endured, and heaven honors endurance. You passed tests nobody saw. You carried burdens that would have broken others. You praised God with a heart still bleeding. And through it all, you never dropped the mantle. That's why this crown fits. It's not just for your head, it's for your story of redemption, of resilience, of real surrender. You are not just wearing something beautiful, you are wearing the proof that God exalts the humble and crowns the faithful. And here's the truth the enemy never wanted you to hear. Your crown has weight. It carries authority. It carries vision. It carries legacy. And now God says, I am placing it publicly because your time of private refinement is complete. You are royalty. You are seated with Christ in heavenly places. You are crowned for such a time as this. Do not take it off. Do not bow to fear. Do not shrink back into old identities. God placed this crown on you to remind the world that He still raises up kings and queens from the back alleys of pain and prayer. Chosen one, your head was bowed in suffering, but now it will be lifted in glory. You are crowned, and it is certain. And now Listen carefully, because this next revelation is going to confront everything this world taught you about success, recognition, and promotion. God is giving you promotion without politics. You're not rising because of connections. You're not advancing because of likes. You're not walking through the door because of your charisma or your credentials. You're rising because of your consecration. The system of man thrives on flattery, performance, and strategic alliances. But the system of God, it runs on obedience, integrity, and favor. And you, chosen one, have been promoted by a court far higher than any earthly throne. Do you remember Joseph? They could take his coat. They could throw him in a pit. They could lie on his name, lock him in prison. But what they couldn't touch was the favor of God that sat on him like a robe made of fire. His promotion had nothing to do with the politics of Egypt. It had everything to do with the prophetic dream placed in him by God. And just like Joseph, you are about to be summoned by systems that once shut you out. But this time, you're not entering to play their game. You're entering to rewrite the rules. Your promotion is not a reward for popularity. It is heaven's strategic response to earth's desperate need for truth. You are going up, not because you climbed the ladder, but because God pulled you up himself. This means you owe no man your allegiance. Your only allegiance is to the one who lifted you. There is a shift happening. Heaven is tearing down the false and raising up the faithful. The stage is being cleared, and the spotlight is being realigned. And now, the favor of God is placing his true ones in positions of influence, not to boast, but to bless. You are rising, you are ascending, and there's no campaign behind you, just the cloud of witnesses cheering as you walk into your divine assignment. It is certain, it is unfolding. You've been promoted by heaven, and what you're about to walk in will blow your mind. Because now, chosen one, God is taking you from survival mode to leadership mantle. You've spent years just trying to make it, just trying to breathe, just trying to believe. Your life was a constant battle, fighting for peace, for clarity, for sanity. You were in the trenches of spiritual warfare, lifting up prayers soaked in desperation. And yet, you never quit. You didn't just survive. You learned to stand. You learned to speak. You learned to carry others when you had no one to carry you. And now God is saying, I can trust you to lead because you know what it means to be crushed. You've been trained in the hard places, formed in the secret places, commissioned in the quiet. And now, the mantle of leadership is falling on your shoulders like Elijah's cloak on Elisha. You will not just testify. You will lead others out of the same places you once bled in. Your scars will speak wisdom. Your wounds will pour out healing. Your steps will lead others into divine strategy. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a leader, a voice, a light, a guidepost in a world losing direction. God is clothing you with authority, and this authority didn't come from seminary. It came from surrender. You've been called. You've been chosen. You've been assigned. And now, chosen one, the world must watch the reveal. The ones who doubted you are about to witness the divine unveiling. Just like Mordecai in the book of Esther, he sat at the gate for years, loyal, unnoticed, faithful. But when the king remembered, everything changed in one day. Mordecai was honored, elevated, paraded through the streets by the very man who plotted his death. That is your story too. You are being honored in front of those who plotted against you. You are being lifted in front of those who laughed at you. You are being vindicated not by your words, but by God's hand. Because when God reveals, He does not whisper, He declares. You've been quiet long enough. You've been hiding long enough. You've been doubted long enough. Now comes the reveal. And it will not be subtle. It will not be small. It will not be safe. It will be divine. God is preparing a table in the presence of your enemies. He is setting you on a hill that cannot be hidden. He is shining a light so bright, no lie can survive it. And everything that tried to bury you will now bear witness to your rising. Chosen one, get ready, because this is not just your moment, it is your spiritual coronation. The angels are assembling, the throne room is roaring, the oil has been poured, the trumpet has blown, the scroll has been opened, your name has been called, and the crown is being placed on your head. This is your divine announcement. This is the moment the heavens align and declare, you have emerged, you have arrived, you are chosen. It is certain, it is confirmed, it is done. Overflow, 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 rise, rise, rise. Your time in the shadows is over, and the forefront was made for you. Chosen one, take a deep breath right now, not just with your lungs, but with your spirit, because you are standing at the edge of a prophetic threshold. You are standing in the moment that heaven has already declared. This is it. The shift is not coming. It is here. God says, I'm taking you from the background to the forefront. This is not just a phrase, it is a prophecy. And it is not just a prophecy, it is a divine decree over your life. You've walked through seasons where no one saw you. You've endured rooms where your voice was drowned out. You've battled thoughts that told you you weren't enough, weren't ready, weren't worthy. But heaven has made its announcement. You are ready now. Your name has been whispered in the secret place. Your mantle has been prepared in the silence. Your oil has been preserved in purity. And now the divine instruction has been released. Step forward. This is more than elevation. This is alignment. God is not just changing your location. He's unlocking your destiny. He's not just bringing attention to you. He's revealing Himself through you. The time of hiding has fulfilled its purpose. The breaking, the crushing, the pruning, it all served your emergence. You are no longer the forgotten. You are no longer the background figure in someone else's story. You are the one heaven called by name before time began. The one the fire couldn't burn. The one the lies couldn't silence. The one the delay couldn't destroy. Chosen one, you are the evidence that God keeps His promises. You are the proof that faith still wins. You are the reminder to every onlooker that God exalts the humble, crowns the obedient, and promotes the faithful, not by force, but by favor. This is your confirmation. You are about to be seen, not for your glory, but for God's purpose. You are about to walk through doors you didn't knock on, receive favor you didn't bargain for, and carry influence you never begged for. Why? Because you stayed faithful in the background. Because you served when no one said thank you. Because you praised when the pain was unspeakable. Because you kept showing up with no applause, no recognition, and no explanation, just faith. And now, the God who sees in secret is rewarding you openly. This moment is heaven's answer to every whispered prayer. It is God's response to every hidden wound. It is the unlocking of every closed door. It is the manifestation of everything that once felt delayed, denied, and impossible. God is not just positioning you. He is revealing His glory through your life. Your steps are now divinely ordered. Your voice is now prophetically charged. Your name is now surrounded with favor like a shield. And your hands, chosen one, are about to carry the promises you wept over. This is not hype, this is holy. This is not emotionalism. This is eternal alignment. The forefront is not a place of fame. It is a place of fire. It is the place where God trusts you to stand, to speak, to shine, not for your image, but for His kingdom. You are His vessel. You are His warrior. You are His messenger. You are His chosen. So right now, in this moment of divine clarity and boldness, speak it into the atmosphere. Comment below, "I receive it." That declaration is more than words. It is your agreement with heaven. It is your yes to the assignment. It is your embrace of the mantle. It is your response to the call. Say it in faith. Say it as prophecy. Say it as the final echo of your hidden season. Because what God is doing in your life now cannot be undone. You are walking out of the wilderness with glory. You are rising out of the shadows with strength. You are stepping out of obscurity with anointing. And the light you carry is not your own. It is the fire of God placed within you to light the world. Chosen one, no more delay, no more second guessing, no more apologizing for being called, crowned, and consecrated. The background season is over, and the stage heaven built for you is ready. Step forward in faith. Stand firm in power. Speak with divine authority. Shine with holy fire. This is the hour. This is the moment. This is your unveiling. Chosen one, it is done. Your miracle begins now.